Right now, while you sit here watching this, your kidneys are making a decision about your future. And here is the terrifying part. They are making that decision based on what you ate last night, what you ate before bed. The thing most doctors never get around to explaining in a 7-minute appointment. 1 in 3 Americans over 60 already has some level of chronic kidney disease. 1 in 3. And most of them have no idea, because the early damage is completely silent. No pain, no obvious symptoms, just quiet, irreversible decline happening night after night. But here is what the research actually shows, and this is the part that changes everything. The hours between 10 at night and 6 in the morning are when your kidneys do their deepest filtering work, their most critical repair cycle. And what you eat in the 2 hours before sleep directly determines how well that process goes. Most conversations about kidney health focus entirely on restriction: less sodium, less potassium, less phosphorus. And yes, that matters. But tonight I am going to show you the other side of that equation. 8 fruits, all verified kidney-friendly by the National Kidney Foundation, that actively support your kidneys while they work overnight. Stay with me through fruit number 8, because it comes with a warning that almost no other video mentions. And it is information you genuinely need before you eat it. Before I continue, tell me something in the comments. Are you watching this because you have been told you have kidney concerns? Or because you are trying to prevent them? I read every single comment. Drop it below. Now, here is what nobody tells you about the kidney health conversation. The system has a blind spot. Your doctor, if they have 7 minutes with you, is going to tell you what to avoid. Because restriction is simple to communicate. Because it fits on a handout. But what to ADD? The antioxidants, the anti-inflammatory compounds, the sleep-supportive nutrients that actually help kidney tissue recover overnight, that conversation gets cut every time. This is not your doctor's fault. This is a system that gives a physician 7 minutes to manage everything. And in 7 minutes, you cover the list of don'ts. You never get to the list of do's. And for people with kidney disease, that missing half of the conversation is costing them years. Let me tell you about Sandra. She represents a pattern I have seen repeatedly. She is 67, retired postal worker from Virginia. Woman who walked routes for 29 years, kept herself active, did everything right. When she found out her kidneys were operating at about 62% of normal function, she did what most people do. She eliminated. She cut fruit almost entirely because she had heard potassium and kidney disease do not mix. She got rid of oranges, bananas, kiwi. She got rid of everything that felt risky. And in doing that, she quietly eliminated her primary source of antioxidants, the compounds that reduce the inflammation driving her decline. I am going to come back to Sandra. Because what happened when I rebuilt her evening routine is something I want you to hear. But first, you need to understand what is actually happening inside your kidneys at night. Here's what I need you to see. Your kidneys are not passive filters. Think of them like a 2-person cleaning crew that works the overnight shift. During the day, they are constantly processing, adjusting blood pressure, balancing electrolytes, clearing metabolic waste. By evening, they are shifting into what you might call deep maintenance mode. The filtering is still happening, but the repair and recovery processes are also ramping up. Blood pressure is supposed to drop during sleep. Scientists call this nocturnal dipping. When it works correctly, your kidneys get a window of lower pressure stress where they can focus on recovery instead of just maintenance. But when sleep is disrupted, when that pressure drop does not happen, your kidneys absorb hour after hour of sustained pressure, night after night. And over years, that cumulative load is one of the primary drivers of disease progression. The Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine has published research connecting poor sleep quality to accelerated kidney function decline. The mechanism is inflammation. Disrupted sleep raises inflammatory markers. Chronic inflammation damages the tiny filtering vessels inside kidney tissue. Those vessels do not regenerate. This is why what you eat before bed matters more than what you eat at any other time of day. Now let us talk about fruit number 8, because I want to give you the full truth on this one from the start. Cranberries. You have probably heard they are good for urinary tract health, and there is real research behind that. But here's what most videos get completely wrong. The National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, which is part of the NIH, confirms that cranberry products may decrease the risk of recurring urinary tract infections in women who have had them before. The mechanism involves compounds called proanthocyanidins that appear to prevent certain bacteria from adhering to the bladder wall. But, and this is critical, cranberries do not treat an existing infection. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases states this directly. If you think you have an active urinary tract or kidney infection, you need a doctor, not cranberries. And here's the real catch. Raw cranberries are intensely tart. Almost no one eats them plain. So what people actually buy, cranberry juice, cocktail, sweetened dried cranberries, flavored supplements, often contains so much added sugar that it works against the kidneys at the same time it is supposedly helping them. The National Kidney Foundation has specifically linked sugar-sweetened beverages to increased kidney disease risk. If you use cranberries for kidney health, the rule is simple: unsweetened only. 100% pure cranberry juice, unsweetened dried cranberries in small portions, whole frozen cranberries. And one more thing. If you take warfarin or any blood thinner, mention cranberry use to your pharmacist before making it a habit. There is conflicting evidence about an interaction. The benefit is real, but it lives in the unsweetened form, not in the juice cocktail you will find in most refrigerators. Now let us move to number 7. And this one surprises people every single time. Pineapple. A tropical fruit, acidic, bright. Not exactly what you picture when someone says kidney-friendly food, but the National Kidney Foundation classifies pineapple as a low-potassium choice for kidney disease patients. One small portion of fresh pineapple fits safely within the dietary framework for all stages of chronic kidney disease. Here is what makes it interesting, specifically for overnight support. Fresh pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is a natural anti-inflammatory compound that has been studied for its ability to reduce inflammatory markers in the body. Since chronic inflammation is one of the primary engines of kidney disease progression, a natural anti-inflammatory that fits within the low-potassium framework is genuinely valuable. Fresh pineapple also contains tryptophan, the same amino acid that is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin. Not in therapeutic concentrations, but enough to contribute to a naturally relaxed wind-down pattern when eaten as part of an evening routine. Critical note here: fresh pineapple only. Canned pineapple is typically heat processed in a way that destroys most of the bromelain content. If you buy it canned, you are getting the potassium and the sugar, but not the enzyme benefit. Half a cup of fresh pineapple, cut into chunks, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Let us talk about fruit number 6, raspberries. Half a cup of raspberries contains approximately 4 grams of fiber. That is roughly double what you get from most other fruits in the same serving size. And fiber turns out to matter for kidney health through 2 completely separate pathways that most people have never heard of. Pathway 1. Fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria. Those bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids. Short-chain fatty acids reduce systemic inflammation, the same chronic inflammation driving kidney disease progression. A 2021 study in the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that a healthier gut microbiome is directly associated with slower chronic kidney disease progression. The gut and the kidneys communicate more than most people realize. Pathway 2. Fiber slows the absorption of phosphorus from foods eaten alongside it. And phosphorus management is one of the central challenges in a kidney disease diet. A fiber-rich fruit eaten with or shortly after dinner creates a natural buffering effect on post-meal phosphorus absorption. Not a replacement for phosphorus management, but a meaningful supporting mechanism. Raspberries are also on the National Kidney Foundation's verified low-potassium fruit list, safe for all stages of chronic kidney disease and all dialysis types. If this is new information, if you are realizing there is a whole conversation about what to eat that nobody has walked you through, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to someone else who needs it. Someone sitting at home who cut out all their fruit and does not know why their markers are not improving. That is actually Sandra's story. Let me take you back to her. When I rebuilt her evening routine with her, the first thing I explained was this exact framework. The difference between high potassium fruits she needed to avoid and the low potassium fruits that could actually be protecting her overnight. She had been treating all fruit the same: bananas and blueberries, oranges and raspberries. Same category in her mind. Equally risky. They are not the same. Not even close. I asked her to start with just 3 fruits. The bedtime bowl I am going to give you at the end of this video. She was skeptical. She told me it seemed too simple. And I understood that. When you have been managing a chronic condition for years, you develop a kind of defensive pessimism. You stop believing that simple things can make meaningful differences. But she tried it, and in week one, she slept better. She told me at her next visit that she had not expected that at all. Here is why that happened. And this leads us directly to fruit number 5, grapes. Specifically, red and purple grapes. The National Kidney Foundation classifies grapes as a low-potassium choice in their dietary guide for chronic kidney disease patients. A small handful, roughly half a cup, fits safely within the low-potassium framework. What makes grapes notable is resveratrol, a polyphenol concentrated in the skin of red and purple grapes. And here is what the research shows about resveratrol and kidney health. A 2019 review in the journal Nutrients analyzed multiple studies on resveratrol and kidney function in adults. The consistent finding was that resveratrol appears to reduce markers of oxidative stress and inflammation in kidney tissue, the same markers that predict how quickly kidney function declines. The National Kidney Foundation also notes that grapes can be frozen and eaten as a cooling, thirst-quenching option for patients on fluid restriction. If you are managing both kidney disease and fluid limits, this is one of the most practical solutions on this entire list. Frozen grapes take longer to eat, feel hydrating, and deliver real antioxidant benefit without adding significant fluid volume. Red and purple grapes consistently deliver more resveratrol than green grapes. That is the one to choose. Now, something most doctors do not have time to explain. There is a compound inside your kidney's filtering vessels called the glycocalyx. Think of it like a protective non-stick coating on the interior surface of your blood vessels. When the glycocalyx remains intact, your vessels stay flexible. Blood flows through smoothly. The filtering happens efficiently. When it is damaged, and it gets damaged by high blood sugar, chronic inflammation, dehydration, and oxidative stress, the vessels stiffen. The filtering becomes less efficient. And here is the part that matters tonight. Antioxidants from food, particularly anthocyanins from berries and polyphenols from grapes, have been shown in research to help protect and support the glycocalyx, not reverse advanced damage, but protect and slow the rate of further damage. That is what you are doing when you eat the right fruits before bed. You are giving your kidney's filtering infrastructure the raw materials it needs to defend itself overnight. Let us keep building. Fruit number 4, apples. The most universally available kidney-friendly fruit in existence, and almost certainly the most underestimated. The National Kidney Foundation is direct on this. Apples are rich in antioxidants and fiber, low in potassium, phosphorus, and sodium, safe at all stages of kidney disease and all dialysis types. Eating the peel delivers 2 to 6 times the antioxidant power of eating the flesh alone. Now here's what most people miss. For adults over 60 managing both kidney disease and blood sugar, an extremely common combination, the blood sugar stabilizing effect of a whole apple at bedtime has real practical value. The fiber in the apple slows glucose absorption. That reduces the overnight blood sugar fluctuation that directly stresses kidney filtering vessels. Every glucose spike causes a small wave of inflammation. Smaller spikes equal less overnight inflammation. There is also a kidney stone connection. Apples contain malic acid, a compound related to citrate metabolism. Research published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that dietary citrate contributes to a more alkaline urine environment, which is protective against calcium oxalate stone formation, the most common type of kidney stone. 1 medium apple, the peel on, eaten slowly as part of your evening routine. Add Ceylon cinnamon if you enjoy it. Ceylon cinnamon specifically adds blood sugar stabilization that stacks with the apple's own fiber effect. One small caveat. If you take diabetes medication, start with just half an apple and monitor your blood sugar. The combination of fiber and cinnamon can enhance glucose lowering, which is usually desirable but worth watching if you are on medication. Now, I am getting to the 3 that I want you to remember most, because these 3 form what I am going to give you as the bedtime kidney bowl, a combination backed by the National Kidney Foundation's verified fruit list and supported by some of the most specific research on sleep and kidney function available. Fruit number 3. Strawberries. 130 milligrams of potassium per half cup. 130. That is one of the lowest figures of any fruit, making strawberries one of the safest options even for people with advanced kidney disease on strict potassium limits. The National Kidney Foundation confirms they are appropriate for all stages of chronic kidney disease, including hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. But here is what makes strawberries specifically valuable at night. A clinical study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that dietary strawberry supplementation produced significant increases in plasma antioxidant capacity and glutathione levels compared to control groups. Glutathione is the body's primary internal antioxidant defense system. Higher glutathione levels correlate directly with reduced oxidative damage to kidney tissue. And since the overnight repair cycle is when that antioxidant defense is most active, eating strawberries before bed is timing that actually aligns with your biology. Half a cup, fresh or frozen. Both preserve the antioxidant content equally well. Fruit number 2, blueberries. I need you to hear this clearly. Blueberries are arguably the single most well-researched antioxidant food in all of modern nutrition, and they happen to be perfectly suited for kidneys specifically. The National Kidney Foundation confirms less than 150 milligrams of potassium per half cup serving, low sodium, low phosphorus, safe for all stages of kidney disease and all dialysis types. The compounds driving blueberries' kidney benefit are anthocyanins, the same anti-inflammatory polyphenols that make them blue. A landmark cohort study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, following nearly 94,000 women over 18 years, found that higher anthocyanin intake was associated with a 23% lower risk of developing high blood pressure, one of the leading drivers of kidney disease progression. 23% from food, not medication. There is also a cardiovascular kidney overlap that matters here. Cardiovascular disease and kidney disease share the same inflammatory pathways. They frequently accelerate each other. For adults over 60 managing both risks, and most are, blueberries address both simultaneously without adding potassium burden. And now I am bringing you to fruit number 1, the one I told you about at the start. The most uniquely suited to nighttime kidney support of anything on this list, Tart cherries. Specifically, Montmorency Tart cherries, not the sweet cherries, not the maraschino cherries, Montmorency sour cherries. This distinction matters enormously, and most videos about kidney health never make it. Sweet cherries are classified as high potassium. They fall in a different dietary category entirely. Montmorency Tart cherries are classified by the National Kidney Foundation as a low-potassium food, less than 200 milligrams per 3.5-ounce serving, low sodium, low phosphorus, safe at all stages of kidney disease. But that is not why they are number 1. Here's what I want you to understand, and this connects everything I have explained about overnight kidney function. Tart cherries contain phytomelatonin, a plant-based form of the same compound your brain produces to regulate your sleep cycle. And according to research published in the European Journal of Nutrition, a controlled study specifically conducted on older adults with insomnia, tart cherry juice produced significant reductions in insomnia severity. Reductions comparable to or exceeding some standard sleep interventions in a population of adults over 60, the exact population most likely to have disrupted sleep and the kidney consequences that come with it. Let me connect those dots clearly. Better sleep means your blood pressure drops properly during the night. That nocturnal dip I explained earlier. When that drop happens, your kidneys get hours of reduced pressure stress, hours of true recovery time instead of just maintenance work. That chain of benefit runs from the tart cherry you eat before bed all the way to the filtration capacity of your kidneys 3 months from now. This is why I put it at number 1, not because it has the most potassium restriction benefit, but because it directly addresses the mechanism that everything else in this video is building toward: sleep, inflammation, nocturnal blood pressure, overnight repair. Now let me take you back to Sandra one final time. Within the first 2 weeks of adding the bedtime bowl to her routine, tart cherries, blueberries, and strawberries, she noticed she was waking up less during the night. By week 6, her sleep had improved measurably. She told me the biggest surprise was that she had been managing her kidney disease for years, feeling like every food decision was a subtraction. One more thing removed, one more restriction added. And this was the first time in a long time she felt like she was adding something, contributing something to her own recovery instead of just defending against further decline. At her quarterly kidney function check, her markers had remained stable. For Sandra, at 62% function, stable is not failure. Stable is the goal. Stable means the decline has been interrupted. Stable means you have bought time. And the connection she made between the evening routine and her improved sleep quality was real. She tracked it in a small notebook she kept on her nightstand. Her daughter called me 2 months later. She said her mother was sleeping through the night for the first time in years, and that she seemed lighter. That is the word she used. Here's what I want you to do tonight. Start with the bedtime bowl. half a cup of Tart cherries, or 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened Tart cherry juice, a handful of blueberries, half a cup of strawberries. Eat this 30 to 60 minutes before bed. If you want to add fruit number 4, 1 medium apple with the peel on, eat it alongside dinner rather than as the bedtime snack itself. The fiber does its best phosphorus buffering work when eaten with or just after your main meal. Grapes, raspberries, and fresh pineapple can each rotate in throughout the week for variety. Half-cup portions, red and purple grapes. Fresh pineapple only, not canned. And cranberries, unsweetened only, 2 to 3 times per week if you have a history of urinary tract infections. Not as a treatment, as a modest preventive support. A few things to check with your doctor or kidney dietitian before starting. If you are in stage 4 or 5 of chronic kidney disease, your potassium budget may be strict enough that even low-potassium fruits need to be counted within a specific daily total. Your care team can tell you exactly how much fits your individual dietary prescription. If you are on warfarin, ask your pharmacist about cranberries specifically before making them a habit. And if you have not had a basic kidney function test recently and you are over 60, request one at your next appointment. Creatinine, eGFR, and electrolytes. Those numbers tell you where your kidneys actually stand right now. You cannot make informed decisions without them. Everything I have shared tonight is based on published research and National Kidney Foundation guidance. It is educational information, not personalized medical advice. Your kidney dietitian gives you the individualized recommendations. I give you the information that fills the gap between what the system explains and what you actually need to know. If you watch this all the way through, type the words I finished in the comments, and then share this with one person who needs it. Not tomorrow. Tonight. A parent. A spouse. A friend who has been told to watch their kidneys and does not know where to start. One conversation might genuinely change the direction of their health. My next video covers the 5 everyday drinks that are quietly damaging your kidneys, including one that is actively marketed as healthy for you. If you knew what it was actually doing to your filtration system overnight, you would never drink it before bed again. Do not let anyone tell you it is too late, because it is not.